Hello, happy new moon in Cancer for July 2020. My name is Allison. I am a massage therapist by day and a tarot reader by night. How about that? I'm just lighting some sage for you here. I've already done the readings and we had some really interesting things come up, and a lot of them are very similar. So after you pick your card and watch your reading video, I am adding a fourth timestamp to a closing statement. That kind of wraps everything up because everything seemed to be very, very similar readings today. So I just wanted to kind of point that out to everybody because I don't want to reveal too much, but if you are interested and want to keep going after you watch your reading, click on the closing statement as well. So like I said, I've already done the readings, and how this works, I'm just lighting some sage for you. So take a deep breath, focus on the 3 stacks of cards that we have here. You might want to close your eyes and then open them, and whichever one kind of jumps out at you, then that will be your deck or reading for the new moon in Cancer for July 2020. This is the second new moon that we have had, or new moon in Cancer that we've had consecutively, like right next to the last new moon we had was in Cancer as well. So it's really rare for that to happen, and it's a really great opportunity to just kind of clean your slate, start over. It may have like brought up some emotions for you, but this is our opportunity to acknowledge those emotions, to let those feelings out with that Cancer emotional watery energy, and to let it go, let the new moon cleanse it, and start over with a fresh, clean slate. And I think we all kind of need a fresh, clean slate and a new, fresh start. So the first pile here, I will use this. This is pile number 1. The blue candle goes with this pile, as well as this sprig of rosemary. So if you are drawn to this pile with the rosemary and the blue candle, I will put the timestamp in the description below, and you can just click on that and it will take you immediately to that reading for group number 1. And then group number here 2 in the center goes with this purple. It's like a light lavender candle. And this amethyst crystal, and that is thunder in the background. I don't know if you can hear it. I've been talking about it during the readings and it hasn't started raining yet, but I'm hoping it will. I was hoping to be able to film during a rainstorm. But anyways, that is pile number 2 with a lavender candle and an amethyst cluster. And then the third pile over here, right here, is this is actually like a pink, like a dusty rose candle, as well as this feather. And in the readings, I do explain why I chose each particular color candle and item to go with it. So again, on the left is pile number 1 with the blue candle and the sprig of rosemary. The second pile, group 2, is a lavender candle with an amethyst cluster. And then the third pile on the right is a pink candle with a feather. So if you want to take a deep breath, if you want to light some sage yourself. If not, I have some right here for you to clear your mind, clear your thoughts. Take a deep breath. And see if there's a pile that stands out to you. Again, the timestamps will be below, and you can just click on them and they will take you directly to your reading. I also wanted to point out there will be a 4th timestamp to take you to a closing statement, because all of these readings kind of were very similar, so I just wanted to point that out and have like a closing statement at the end. I'd also like to let you know that the candles that you see here are for sale in my Etsy shop. I'll put a link for those below. The candle holders are coming soon, and the tarot stands are also available in my Etsy shop. I love them. I pick a card every day, sometimes in the morning and sometimes at night, but I've really enjoyed the habit of doing it at night, and that way the first thing when I wake up, I put the card on the stand and it's the first thing I see, and it kind of encourages me to get out of bed and get going. So anyways, let's get straight to the readings. Pick your pile and then click on the timestamp below. Thank you, and please thumbs up if you like it. Let me know if any of these readings resonate with you, and I really appreciate your support. Hi, group 1. I am lighting the blue candle for you to do an Oracle Tarot reading for the new moon in Cancer in July 2020. If you chose this blue candle as well as the sprig of rosemary, then this reading is for you. Just lighting some sage as well. And let's take a look at what we got here. I'm going to start with the tarot cards. I might move this over a little bit. Will it still be in frame? No. Move it over here. Okay, so the tarot cards, I usually do 3 tarot cards and then some more oracle cards to kind of support them and get more messages. And it keeps getting cloudy here. I'm just going to turn the lights up. Maybe that will help a little bit. So the first card here is the 9 of Wands. And we've also got the Knight of Wands. And the Page of Swords reversed. Okay, and we did 2 cards from, this is the Angels and Ancestors Oracle deck by Kyle Gray. It's a really beautiful deck. The artwork is by Lily Moses. It's a really beautiful deck. So we've got 2 cards from that one, and it is the Medicine Guardian. And it says, be open to healing information. Is that candle blocking the focus, or is my lens just blurry? There we go. So be open to healing information. That's what the Medicine Guardian says. also summer, bask in the joy of light. There's a little bumblebee on there, honeybee. Oops. And I also did 2 cards from the Animal Spirit or Earth Magic deck. This is the Earth Magic deck by Stephen Farmer. Dawn, New Beginnings. And Lotus Flower, Unfoldment. I think I hear some thunder coming, but it keeps getting light and then dark and then light and then dark. So that'll be kind of fun if we get a thunderstorm. I'm trying to make it so that we can see all of them at once. Okay. And then these are from the Herbiary. It's actually a book. Let me grab the book. It's a really beautiful book by Maya Toll, the Herbiary, and I just fell in love with the artwork in this book. Who I always forget. It's illustrated by Kate O'Hara, and the illustrations in this deck are just amazing. So it's actually an herb book, and then it came with like this little deck of cards that you punch out on your own. It's a really great book. She also has an animal one as well that I haven't seen, but it's the same artist, so I'm having trouble getting this to focus. So this is mugwort, and the additional message up here, it says between dreams. And rosemary. So we've got, so I picked the Rosemary Sprig here, and rosemary is for remembrance. Okay, I picked a lot of cards for this one. All right, so starting with the oracle or the tarot cards over here on the left. The 9 of Wands. If you look at this guy, he looks like he's been through a lot. He's got all of these wands behind him, and he's kind of looking over his shoulder, kind of like not sure, are these people on my side or what's going on here? And he's got a bandage on his head, he's got a bandage on his shoulder, so obviously he's been through a lot. And usually this symbolizes like he's still standing. He might be leaning, he might have his bandages on, he might be leaning on this crutch, but he's still standing, and he's still got a little bit more fight in him. So this card usually represents perseverance, and usually encourages you to keep going. You've been through a lot. There's mountains in the background. Like, you've been through, you're working hard. We're all kind of doing double duty here during the pandemic, and working really hard, and then just everything takes so much longer with having to disinfect and wear a mask, and everything just is taking longer these days. So you've been working hard, or you've got a lot going on. Maybe you feel like all these things are coming at you at once, and just seeing this with the Knight of Wands as well. The Knight of Wands is all about action and passion and fire, and see, he's like riding on his horse. He's got places to go, and he's gonna get there quickly because he's got this colorful robe on. He's very passionate. Usually it can represent someone who's charismatic. So like combined with the 9 of Wands, he's still standing. He's been through a lot, but he's got one more fight in him, one more battle, he's still got the passion and the energy to keep going. So these two together are really good, even though this Nine of Wands, he looks like he's been beat up and not sure if he can keep going, but being combined with the Knight of Wands, it's like, yeah, you've still got some fire in you. And then this last one, the Page of Swords, when the Page of Swords is upright, he sometimes represents like a student. The clouds in the background represent ideas, thoughts. You're like formulating a plan. You've got your stance. You're like ready to go, but you're still kind of formulating your plan of action. So when it's reversed, it often represents confusion, or you're holding back, like you've got these ideas, but they're kind of all over the place, kind of scatterbrained. And sometimes it might just be that you're tired. I mean, with the Nine of Wands, it's like you've been through a lot and you're just all over the place. You're like, wait, I don't know what's going on. So this can represent some sort of confusion. I also kind of got like, I mean, I always think of education when I think of the Page of Swords, so it might be maybe like you've put a lot on your plate. Maybe you're like going to summer school or like night school, or like you're learning something, online classes, training, I don't know, but it's kind of a lot and you're really confused. Maybe you're not getting it. But you've definitely been working hard, and you've still got a little more strength in there, but you're confused. So with the Rosemary, it's interesting that I'm thinking of school or teaching or education, because maybe you're trying to figure out if your kids, or if you want to send your kids back to school. Rosemary, I always use rosemary for the essential oil for remembrance. It has been scientifically proven to stimulate memory, and spiritually, like when you're thinking of rosemary, we're thinking of the memory in your bones, cellular memory, muscle memory, like the things that you know but you don't even know how you know them. You know what I mean? So it sometimes represents the connection with your ancestors. And just rosemary is great for, just on a side note, rosemary is physically great for circulation and skin conditions. It's really good for your skin. I use rosemary in my massage oil a lot. So maybe calling on your ancestors to help you get through whatever it is that you've been working hard at, and that'll help reignite the spark, or kind of take some of the burden off. Give some of the burden to your ancestors, to your spirit guides. And this is rosemary is also about like connecting with spirit, connecting with your ancestors, connecting with your spirit guides. They might be trying to communicate with you. And then also, again, with this mugwort. Mugwort is, I wish I had some mugwort. I should start growing some next year. But you can put mugwort under your pillows to help enhance your dreams. Okay, now what I'm seeing, you've been working hard physically, and now it's time. You need to rest and dream and let your subconscious do the work. You maybe have been doing like the physical work, the mental work. Now you need to do the spiritual work, the subconscious work, the things that are at the deeper levels. And why I'm seeing this is because of this lotus flower and the unfoldment. Lotus flower is a very spiritual flower. Again, so that's like reinforcing the connection with your ancestors, connection with your spirit guides. The lotus flower is a very spiritual flower or spiritual plant. And so if you look at a lotus flower, it's floating on top of the water, it's in the bright sunlight, but they actually start growing deep down in the mud and in the muck, and they have to fight through that mud and fight through that wet, sludgy mud to get up to the sunlight, to get up to above the surface of the water. So I feel like you're needing to do some dream work, some subconscious work to bring some things to light, to the surface. And the lotus flower is all about overcoming obstacle, getting out of the mud, getting out of the muck, because once you get through that, you're going to be able to bloom and blossom and grow and unfold. And so I can see that you've been doing the physical hard work. Now you need to do the subconscious work, and just think of the lotus flower being down in that dark, dingy, muddy water, and pushing through that and pushing above to get to the sunlight, to get to the surface of the water, so that you can bloom. And have new beginnings in the dawn. So once you take the time to rest and to meditate, maybe communicate with your ancestors, communicate with your spirit guides, just allowing yourself and your body to relax and rest, things will start to unfold, and they will bring new beginnings. New beginnings are on the horizon. And so let's do this. So the lotus flower, you are the lotus flower. This might be you. You've been working really hard. And put these two together. You've been working really hard, just like the lotus flower. You've been pushing through all the mud and the muck, and you're using this Knight of Wand energy to do that. You still got a little more fight in you. You still got a little more to go, but you can push through it. So use. I know typically for the new moon we're setting intentions and we're getting ready for action, but I feel like the action for you this next month is going to be to go within, to dream, connect with your spirit guides, so that maybe coming on the next new cycle, you will see the dawn, you will see the light. And this is also reinforced with the medicine guardian. He again is connecting you with your spirit guides, connecting you with the inner healing, the inner work that needs to be done. Like pay attention to any signs, or pay attention to your dreams. Try to maybe keep a dream journal next to your bed, and pay attention to any signs that you're seeing, any songs that come on the radio that kind of like pop out to you, and that will help with the confusion of this reversed Page of Swords. He's confused, but your guides, your dreams, your subconscious work is trying to help work through that confusion. And with this summer, bask in the joy and light. I think that's just telling you need to rest and relax this month, and that's going to allow you to do the subconscious work, and to do the dream work, and to do the inner work that needs to happen to bring you some clarity, so that you can be the flower, push through the mud and the muck and the confusion and the fogginess, so that you can push through to the clear water, to the surface, and bring those things to light. And dawn is, so the period after the new moon is technically the dawn of the moon cycle, because we've been through the dark, we've been through the darkness, and now the light is coming and new beginnings are on the horizon. So this is a really great new moon reading to take, like, so really take between now, I'm going to post this video really a few days before the new moon. So take the time of the dark moon, which is usually like the day before, the day of, and the day after. That's the dark period of the new moon. So use that time to really go into the darkness, to meditate, to dream, to journal, to do that inner work. I think you should really take and maybe just relax. Take this weekend to relax and bask in the light, and that is going to help you get that good sleep. That will help you get clearer, more vivid dreams. Using rosemary essential oil, using mugwort as well. Mugwort's going to enhance your dreams. Rosemary is going to enhance your memories, so that will help get you some clarity that is going on with the Page of Swords. And when we're healing, like, pay attention to the thoughts that come up. Like, maybe if you are sick and you are struggling, maybe you've been working too hard, or maybe you're taking care of someone who's sick, or you are sick yourself. The thoughts that come up when we are healing are usually really important thoughts. You're usually working through something emotionally when we are sick, because it's your body forces you to shut down. It forces you to rest. It forces you to dream. And I mean, fever dreams are very vivid. I hope you're well, but if you are sick, pay attention to the dreams that are going on when you're resting, and hopefully you are resting. And yeah, pay attention to those things that are going on when you're healing, because there usually is something on a deeper level when we are sick, because it's your body forcing you to take a break and relax. But also, summer is all about the harvest, you know, like enjoying the fruits of your labor. You have been working hard physically. Now's the time to appreciate what you have, appreciate all the hard work that you've done, and rest and relax and dream, and just do that inner subconscious work to help you get some clarity. I think that's all I'm really seeing from here. I hope that's a clear message for you for this new moon. I know we think of the new moon as getting ready to be active, but I think that maybe you should just take this last month, end of summer, to relax, enjoy the hard work, take a few days off, and I hope you get some clarity through dream work or through meditation, and yeah, have a really great rest of your moon cycle. I will do another reading for the full moon coming up in a few weeks, but until then, have a nice full moon, a nice fresh start. The Cancer moon is giving us a fresh start, a new beginning. You've got a clear message here that is going to happen for you. So good luck, get some rest, and I will see you in a few weeks. Thanks. Alright, I'm just lighting this purple candle, and this is for a reading for the new moon in Cancer for July 2020. If you chose, there it goes, it was taking a while to light. If you chose the purple candle as well as the amethyst crystal, this reading is for you. I'm gonna pull the tarot cards out first, and then we've got some oracle cards to help us get some clearer messages. So this first one here is the Knight of Cups. And the High Priestess. It's one of my favorite cards. And the Sun reversed. And I've got one card from Doreen Virtue's Archangel Oracle deck. And this says, all is well. And it's Archangel Jeremiel. Everything is happening exactly as it's supposed to. With hidden blessings, you will soon understand. That's a very nice message. And we've got a animal spirit oracle by Colette Baron Reed. And it's starfish. I love the images on this deck. Starfish spirit says, open to infinite possibility. And another deck by Colette Baron Reed is the Messages of the Hidden Realms. Dragon Duel. Inner conflict, morality, and conscious choice. Got 2 dragons on there. I've been having dragons come up a lot for me lately. I just got a little dragon garden statue. It's kind of cool. And then once I did that, it's like I see dragons everywhere. So this is the Lady of Lightning, and she says surprises, sometimes shock. Can't get that to focus. Total paradigm shift. So she's a cool. She's got lightning coming out of her hands. She's one fierce lady. Okay. Put her next to. Okay. So, the Knight of Cups. He is very confident with his emotions, and he just rides in there on his horse, and he is feeling good about himself, his emotions, his feelings. He's very confident. And the Cups cards are usually deal with emotions, but also intuition, and that is definitely reinforced by having the High Priestess next to him, because she is all about intuition. She's sitting in between these 2 pillars of light and dark, and she's like the middle ground, and she is sitting in front of the veil, meaning she can see. Sometimes this represents psychic abilities, clairvoyance. She can see beyond that veil, but she just sits confidently, and there's confidence in the Knight of Cups as well. So she just sits confidently in between. She's not light, she's not dark, she's not one way or the other. She's just right there, smack dab in the middle. Then the Sun reverse. So the Sun, usually when it's right up or right side up, it's like joy, happiness, everything that you would think related to a nice sunny. There's a child on there, and he usually represents like child, the inner child. So when it's reversed, sometimes it means you need to go within to find happiness. Like don't look when it's right side up. It's like you've got just joy and happiness all around you. But when it's reversed, it can be you have to go within yourself to find your happiness. Don't be looking for exterior things to make yourself happy. You need to figure out what makes you happy. Sometimes it can be to your inner child. You need to pay attention to your inner child. Something is being neglected within, and that's preventing you from being happy. But these 2 are so confident in their emotions and their intuition. I don't know. I'm kind of like, you're not seeing something. Something's holding you back from being happy. Maybe you're not trusting your intuition. There's a conflict going on, which is represented with this dragon duel. Yeah, inner conflict, this is usually something inner, like inner child, something within you is preventing you from being happy. Some sort of inner conflict, morality, or conscious choice. And when we see these two dragons together, it makes you think of that saying, whichever dragon you feed is the one that's going to win. So maybe you're feeding some negative side of yourself, some egotistical side of yourself, instead of the one that's the more positive and intuitive and natural. Like you're feeding something that's not really for the higher healing good. So whichever dragon you're going to feed is the one that's going to win. If you're feeding the negative one, the positive one is going to lose. So you need to start feeding positivity in your life, feeding the things that bring you joy and bring you happiness. With the starfish here, it makes me think that open to infinite possibilities. Starfish, like he's sitting there on the beach basking in the sunlight, but for some reason you're not happy. So I think maybe you're not open to something. You're not open to something that is kind of like right there, obviously in front of you. For some reason, you're not having this confidence in your intuition, confidence in how you're feeling. Maybe something happened suddenly that shocked you or surprised you, and now you're second guessing yourself. But then Jeremiel is here saying everything is happening exactly how it's supposed to. So, okay, yep. So something happened suddenly. I mean, it could just be this whole pandemic thing. The world is just upside down, and you might be finding like a lot of your friends are not who they thought they were. I know I've heard a lot of my clients saying this. Like, I had no idea. I'm unfriending people on Facebook left and right, and we're all just having this, these things coming to light, these things coming out of the darkness, coming from deep inside that are now seeing the light, and it's not all pretty. So yeah, something is shocking you, something is startling you, and that somebody's not who they say they were, or maybe you're not who you thought you were. Maybe you're realizing that you had some bad thoughts inside of you, that are coming to surface, and it's shocking you. You're like, I didn't know I had that in me. But okay, so Jeremiel being here saying that everything's happening exactly how it's supposed to. So maybe you kind of know this, like you know that like this is a bad situation, and kind of just the pandemic in general is a really horrible situation, but the whole time I have had this feeling like it's going to be better on the other side. It's going to be, once we get all of this darkness and unearth all of this negative things in our society, within each other, within ourselves, within our families, once we get all of that up into the open and out in the sunlight, we can begin to heal it. We can begin to grow. It's going to be better on the other side. You have to go through the darkness to get to the light. So Jeremiel, I don't know much about him as an archangel. it would be very cool if I don't know if you can hear the thunder, it just thundered a little bit. It would be very cool if we had some thunder and lightning to go with this reading. Okay, well, for one thing, his color is purple, so that's why I chose amethyst and the purple candle. Amethyst helps you connect to your intuition. It also helps with addiction. So if this negative thing that's in your life could be addiction, maybe you're just struggling to get by and finding it difficult to do without your vices, amethyst is a really one to go to connect to your intuition, but also for specifically alcohol, because the myth behind amethyst is that the purple, it gets its purple color from wine, but amethyst is a good stone for sobriety, but also connecting to your intuition and your higher chakras. And Jeremiel is an angel that kind of shows you everything about your life from a different perspective and helps you evaluate yourself, evaluate your life, evaluate things that are going on. So it's like a life review, like maybe you're just kind of realizing things about yourself that oh, I didn't realize I was doing that, I didn't know that I was doing this, or acting this way, behaving this way. That's not who I am deep inside. You're confident that you trust your feelings, you trust your emotions, you are a good person, you trust your intuition, your psychic abilities. Maybe you're just realizing something about yourself that you're kind of unsure about, but we have to go through that darkness to get to the light. Jeremiel is reassuring you that everything happens for a reason, and you'll understand soon, like why this had to come out, why this had to come to light, so that we can get to the other side. And just focus on the good dragon. Feed the good dragon. Feed that good side of yourself, because we all have light and dark. The priestess is sitting there right in the middle of it. She's got a dark pillar and a light pillar here. We all have light and shadow, and sometimes you just need to heal the shadow to focus on the light, to bask and be open to all the possibilities. Maybe there's just some out of the blue opportunity that showed up, and you're just like, what? Where did this come from? I don't know what to do about this. But just be open to the infinite possibilities, because there are hidden blessings, and all will be understood in the end. If you have some amethyst, or want to work with the color purple to work with Jeremiel, I would suggest doing that, and connecting to your higher chakras, just have faith and trusting that all will be well in the end, despite how shocking. Let's see, anything else? Big changes are happening for a reason. Trust your intuition. That's how I feel about that. So using this new moon is wiping the slate clean, starting over, and just for this next new moon cycle, focus on the positive. Feed the positive dragon. That is what I would recommend. All right, so I hope you have a nice new moon, a nice clean slate, and trust your intuition and your psychic abilities, and all will be well. Thank you. If any of this resonates, please leave a comment below, like this video, that way I know to keep doing them, and if that is the case, I'll see you in a couple weeks for the full moon. All right, have a good weekend. Thanks. Hello, group 3. I'm just going to light this pink candle for you. If you chose the pink candle and the feather, then this is your reading for the new moon in Cancer for July 2020. And I think this one had the most cards. So I'm just gonna try to get to the tarot cards first. I think that happened last time too. The third group was had the most cards. But anyways, these I do 3 tarot cards, and then I pick some oracle cards to kind of help support them and get more clarity and information. So the first one we have here is the 3 of Wands. The 8 of Cups. And I don't know if you can hear, there is thunder in the background. I'm hoping it's going to storm, but it's sunny now. The clouds keep coming over, and then it gets light and sunny again, but right now it's sunny, and you can hear thunder in the background. So I hope we'll get to see or hear some thunder. That'd be kind of neat. And okay, the last card we have is the 2 of Cups. So it was the 3 of Wands, the 8 of Cups, and the 2 of Cups. And then we've got 2 cards from, this is from the Everyday Witch Oracle. Do I have her name? Yeah, so the author is Deborah Blake, and the art is by Elizabeth Alba, and I'm going to put all the information about the decks below. I just thought sometimes when I watch videos, instead of having to read below, I like just hearing the name. Anyways, so the first one we have here is Make a Move. And Joy and Delight. I wish I could do a cartwheel. I don't think I can do that anymore. Whoopsie, sorry. Hopefully that didn't make anybody sick. Okay, and the next one here is from the Goddess Oracle by Amy Sophia Marshinsky and illustrated by Arana Janto. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but again, I'll put this all in the description below. And this is Demeter, and the message here says feelings and emotions. And we've got one from Colette Baron Reed's The Messages of the Hidden Realms. I just love the back of this deck. One of the things that drew me to it, and it is the Hawk Prince. He says spirit communication and paying attention. Am I gonna have everybody in frame? No, because I moved it. Okay. And one last card, yeah. This is Angels and Ancestors Oracle deck. And Broken Arrow, and the message says, embrace the energy of peace. Okay. So, I'll start with the tarot. The 3 of Wands, the 2 of Wands to me has a similar image as this, but obviously there's only 2 wands, and he's kind of got 1 foot in the castle, 1 foot out of the castle. So the 2 of Wands I call should I stay or should I go card, but so the 3 following that is like you've made a decision. Now you're looking out on the horizon and you're like, you've got a plan of action, you're ready to go. And then with the 8 of Cups, the 8 of Cups is kind of viewed as like a sadder, kind of almost like a bittersweet, because you see this person walking away in the background, but it usually means that you knew it was time to walk away from a situation, like you're kind of sad to let it go, but you knew it was time. And with this Three of Wands, that kind of reinforces that, like, you had a plan, you have a plan, you knew it was time to go, but it might be feeling a little bittersweet. And then with this Two of Cups at the end, whatever it is that you're having to walk away from is going to bring you to something better. The Two of Cups is usually, like, it could be a new romantic relationship, a business partnership, a friendship. It's going to bring you to bigger and stronger connections to whatever it is that you're having to walk away from. And you do have a plan of action. So this is like a nice nice little placement. But let's look at the oracle cards to see if we can get maybe more clarity to what's going on. So the make a move right here, combined with the Eight of Cups, is reinforcing. You know that it's time to, like, the make a move oracle card is like, get off your butt, get moving. Even if it's just to the refrigerator to get something else to eat, like, get off the couch, get off your butt, do some physical exercise, or it could be physically leaving a situation. And something, I mean, the Eight of Cups does kind of feel heavy sometimes, so this card is here to remind you to don't forget about joy and delight. Have fun on your way out the door. Do a little dance while you're walking away. Gosh, there's a lot of cards going on here. So the Broken Arrow, it says, embrace the energy of peace. So this makes me think, and there was, if you picked any of the piles from the full moon a couple weeks ago, there were a couple of the groups that were having some sort of conflict. And so the Broken Arrow is like, you know, kind of like, think of that motion of just broken the arrow. You're done fighting. Like, I'm done with this. You're just, and maybe it's a conflict that you're walking away from, and you're just like, I don't want to fight anymore. Like, I'm just done. I don't want to fight. And there's no hard feelings. You're just like, you're over it. You're done. But if you are feeling unsure, the Hawk Prince, and that's why I picked the feather. This is not a hawk feather. It's a macaw feather, but hawk spirit comes in to remind us to get a different perspective on whatever the situation is. And then the Hawk Prince is helping you to communicate with your spirit guides, communicate with spirit, communicate with God, creator, source, the universe, whatever it is that you want to call it. So pay attention to any signs around you, like really pay attention, like look up in the sky. If you see a hawk, like pay attention to what that means, and just pay attention to things that are going on around you. And maybe you have been seeing the signs that you need to be walking away from a situation, but you've just kind of ignored them. The Hawk Prince is coming to say, like, pay attention. And also kind of with the Broken Arrow, like, pick your battles. Like, is it really worth it? Like, let's just keep some joy in our life. And it's not worth fighting over, you know. And so Demeter, she is known as the goddess of agriculture, introducing agriculture to ancient civilizations. And I think in this particular image, what we're looking at here, feelings and emotions, Demeter is Persephone's mother. And if you know the story of Persephone going into the underworld, and she gets the devil tricks her into staying there, and her mother was just like, it's a really long mythological story, but Demeter eventually got her out of the underworld. So the torch here is symbolizing that she is the light at the end of the tunnel. She's going to be your guiding light to getting out of whatever dark situation you're in. The pomegranate in her hand is representing I think the devil or the god of the underworld tricked Persephone into eating some pomegranate seeds, and like once you eat something in the underworld, you're trapped there. So that's like where the pomegranate is. So I'm assuming it's talking about this story of, so you're going through a dark time, there is maybe some conflict in your life, and Demeter's got the light, she's got the torch, and she's going to help you out of that situation. So the Hawk Prince is here. Pay attention to your spirit guides, pay attention to the goddess Demeter, because she's trying to bring you light. She's trying to light your way out of the darkness, light your way out of whatever this situation is. And so with this Three of Wands in the background too, I'm thinking like you have a plan. You maybe had a get out plan. You were kind of thinking in the back of your mind, like but you just have to make your move, get up and get out, and put down your defenses, put down your arguments, and so that you can experience joy again. Demeter's she's all about, okay, so the feelings and emotions here, she's saying like you have to acknowledge how you're feeling. You have to acknowledge your intuition. You have to acknowledge that gut feeling that you have inside that you need to be leaving a situation. So pay attention to your feelings, pay attention to spirit, and she will light you out of this situation and into a better one, into that Two of Cups relationship. That's going to be a strong friendship. It could be a strong spirit connection. It could be a friendship, relationship, a job. It could be a new job, because once you put down your arrow and bust a move on your way out the door, you'll experience joy and new relationships, and just let her light the way. Walk away from that situation. It was good it was fun while it lasted, but now you've got better things on the horizon, better relationships, better friendships, better job. So use this new moon energy to wipe the slate clean and to move on. She's gonna light the way. Pay attention to spirit. Get a different perspective. Pay attention to the Hawk Prince. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful new moon. I just noticed that my pendulum started. Pendulum's like, yes, get out of that situation. It may have been, was it the feather that made it move? That's interesting. So, oh, you can't even see it. I have a pendulum hanging right above, and it's just started moving back and forth. Saying, yes, get out of this situation. I don't know if it was the feather. It doesn't seem like the feather is creating a wind, but anyways, that is a sign, a message from spirit to get out of whatever situation you're in and wipe the slate clean. No hard feelings. It's just time to go. You know it's time. And remember to experience your joy. Do that little dance on your way out. And if any of this resonates with you, please like this video, leave comments below, and have a happy new moon in Cancer, and happy fresh start, new beginnings. Happy summer. Hi everybody. If you have stuck around this long, I just wanted to say thank you. I really love doing these readings, and it's really interesting to get your feedback and just to experience this time and to see different perspectives. 2020 has been the craziest year for pretty much everybody that I know, myself included, and I think that this new moon in Cancer is really going to start to shift things, and the reason I wanted to close with this is because all three of the readings were very similar today and had a very similar theme, and I just wanted to point it out. If you have already watched like your group, maybe go back and watch the other ones because they all kind of have a very similar message. In the first group, it was asking you to pay attention to your intuition and subconscious, and like doing dream work and on a subconscious level and paying attention to your intuition. The second group had that same message as well, to trust in the universe, to be open to infinite possibilities. And again, in the third group, we had Demeter helping us light the way through the underworld, so that we could get to this joy, so that all will be well, in group number 2, and so that we can bask in the joy and light. We're seeing joy and light over here as well, and this card is, I mean, we had the sun of joy and light, so I really just kind of feel like we're about to turn a corner, every on a global level, on a spiritual level, on a personal level, in every aspect. I think like we are about to turn a corner. We might not see this light right away, but I think that like I just kind of feel like something is going to start to shift, and I wanted to say thank you, and I wanted to say trust your intuition, pay attention to your dreams, listen to your spirit guides, listen to your consciousness, your higher self, the person that is within you, because I think we're going to get through this, and I think it's going to be better on the other side. I'm hoping that it is anyways. But these cards are saying it. And the fact that they are all pretty similar, it's like we've all been through a lot. There's conflict. We've been working hard. It's a lot to deal with, and it's a lot to put up with, but I think we all realize and know on a very deep level that things are going to change, and they're going to change for the better, for everybody, for every single person on this planet, and for the planet itself. And I want to thank you for holding on, and to encourage you to keep going, and to believe that there is a better life, there is a better future for this planet, and I'm looking forward to being there with you. And I just wanted to thank you for your support, and thank you for being you, and thank you for believing in yourself, and thank you for believing in me, and thank you for believing in the light, and I'll see you on the other side.